So it would probably be an easy concept to grasp that a lot of people can probably side with, relate to, possibly have their own experiences with. That money may be one of the strongest contributing factors to damaging relationships.
Oh, yeah. I would definitely agree with that.
And marriages.
Well, marriage is a relationship.
Yes, but the relationship could be a business relationship.
True.
It could be a friendship.
True.
It could be, there's a long list of the possibilities of the relationships. Mm-hmm. But when you introduce the money, it could cause problems. And you said money changes people. Mm-hmm. I said no good deed goes unpunished. And then when you add in some insecurities, when you add in inflation, when you add in recession, when you add in job loss, layoffs, when you add in financial losses due to investments, bad investments, cryptocurrency, getting involved in the wrong cryptocurrencies, FTX being one of them on an exchange, any of these can have impacts on your financial situation and ultimately your relationships. Can you get your money back? A lot of people lose money. Mm-hmm. Can I get it back?
Generally speaking, not where you lost it from. You can get it back if you work at getting it from a different source.
Well, sometimes if you never ask the question, you won't get the answer. Mm-hmm. I have this ridiculous question here from a text message exchange that I'll post so you guys can see it. And it says that this lady wants a refund because of a divorce.
Refund on what? Because I think that matters too.
Hi, Romeo. How are you? I don't know if you still remember me. You did photo shoot for me at my wedding in Durban in 2019. His response is, hey, I'm okay. Thank you. Trust you're well. Yes, I remember. How may I be of service? She says, well, I'm now divorced, and those pictures I had and my ex-husband, we don't need them anymore. You did a wonderful job on them, but they went to waste as we are now divorced. I will need a refund of the amount we paid you because we don't need them anymore.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. You don't have to finish that thing. Hopefully he told her to go walk off a
He says,
cliff.
pardon me? This has to be a joke, right? And she goes, no, dear, I'm very serious. For which he replies, I'm very sorry to hear that you and your husband divorced, but as I'm sure you can figure out that's not going to happen. Photography is a non-refundable service once I've already delivered to you the service and the pictures. I can't refund you because I can't untake the pictures. Take care now.
Now think about this. Imagine you go to a restaurant and you order yourself a steak. Nice, juicy steak. Maybe you even mess it all up and put some A1 sauce with it instead of eating it just the way it should be with all its juices and whatnots. And you spend $200 on this steak dinner because it's a good steak, right? And then 3 years later, you decide you want to be vegan. Do you go back to that restaurant and go, hey, listen, here's my receipt from 3 years ago. I ate a steak. I have decided to go vegan. I'm going to need you to refund that steak for me since I no longer eat meat. It's as stupid sounding as that. We had our pictures taken, but because we're not together anymore, I want my money back.
This is how ridiculous policies become written because of ridiculous people like this taking it above and beyond and saying, you didn't say that I couldn't. So you have to put a warning label on everything.
Which is so stupid. Well, yeah, I've already said the McDonald's hot coffee thing.
I remember traveling through Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, through the underbelly of the airport as we were going behind the scenes to get to a roof. And the elevator is a special elevator. There's a special elevator that allows you down into the inside of the airport.
Okay.
And it has a sign that says no weapons.
Okay.
And then it proceeds to list the weapons. And I distinctively remember it saying no spears, tridents, or crossbows.
When was the last time you walked out your house and said, oh crap, I forgot my trident. Hold on, let me go back in and get it.
Somebody made that happen.
Well,
to put that on there.
So let me.
They go, no, trident's not a weapon.
Devil's advocate on that
it's a tool.
One. Because in airports, you are also shipping things. You're checking
this
things.
This is the inner workings of the airport. This is where the facility and the staff, this is not.
Yeah, but so you have to think, if the staff is putting all the stuff on the conveyor belt and they go, look at this is my fucking trident. And he picks it up and he takes it through the underbelly to go show somebody, trips and falls, and somebody's gotten stabbed with a trident.
It's ridiculous. Something happened that made these policies come to be today. But I got a much more serious one I want to ask you your opinion on. This one says, I'm going to share this with you guys from Reddit and AITA for divorcing my husband over what my mother-in-law said. If I've titled the video that, I think people would automatically respond. Mm-hmm. They would automatically have a comment, an opinion, an emotion based on AITA for divorcing my husband over what my MIL said. And people they would just bypass the whole video and just answer that. But let's go a step further. Let's actually understand what we are actually reacting to before we sign on the dotted line. For instance, Taylor Swift, getting a little sidetracked here, but Taylor Swift says here that didn't sign a $100 million FTX sponsorship because she was the only one to ask about unregistered securities, lawyer says. She didn't just get handed a $100 million contract and sign it and say, pay me. Let's know more about what we're actually getting involved in before we make a decision. I, 26, black female, husband, 27, white male, have been together for 5 years. My husband comes from a family that lives comfortably, whereas I had to grind for everything I have. When we got married, his family made me sign a prenup, which is fine. I totally understand sometimes you have to protect yourself. I had made him sign a prenup as well. Now, a prenup is just that, prenuptial. Therefore, if you don't have anything prenuptial, in my opinion, that was just signed out of spite or maybe pure ignorance. We will proceed. I would say maybe 6 months after getting married, he landed a job in IT, information technologies. In our area, people who work in IT make $130K plus a year. And I was just starting out in my career as a realtor, so I was making $84K a year, and we keep our financials separate. My husband was laid off, whereas I was doing virtual meetings and building up clients when I could start my own business. So when we could start meeting in person again, I was selling and fixing houses left and right. So in terms, I surpassed what my husband makes yearly by a lot. I just wanted to double check. It says they've been together for 5 years.
It doesn't say how long they were married, though.
Yeah, because I'm like, wait, this didn't happen 5 years ago. So it says together for 5 years. So I told my husband how much I was making, and he said, we are rich now, and I don't have to work anymore. I looked at him like he had two heads. I said, there's no we, only me.
Ew. I'm sorry. Ew. Why are you married, ma'am? Ew.
Is this the spite coming back out? Is this resentment inside that I'm upset? And now it's my time to shine? And like, I made you sign a prenup to protect what I didn't have? Like,
No. This might be the spite of you made me sign a prenup to protect your stuff so that I couldn't have any of it. And now that you have nothing and I have stuff, you want some of it? Maybe it's
this is post-nuptial. The prenup is before.
I understand that, but a lot of people don't understand that.
So it says, there is no we, only me. I am rich now, and I don't know about the you not working part. You still going to work, right? And he said, well, I don't have to, and some of the money can go towards my mother since she's been wanting to redo her house.
Oh. Okay.
She goes on to say, I looked at him confused and said, are you asking or telling me? Where is the money that you made from being in IT? She asked. And he said with a straight face, I'm telling you, and my money is mine. Don't worry about what I do with it. Plus, I knew how much you made. That's why I haven't been looking for a job. And I told my mom that she can start demolishing. She says, I told him that I am not doing a damn thing, and if he wants to help his mother, he can do it himself. And I left that conversation. I found his behavior kind of odd because he never talks to me that way, nor has he ever been demanding like that. Please forgive me for the way that I'm reading this because it's not necessarily formatted correctly, so it's throwing me off.
I know.
The next day, I get home from my office, but I didn't tell my husband when I got off. I walk into our home. I hear my mother-in-law, my MIL, and my husband talking. My mother-in-law said, I don't know why I let you marry that N-word with the hard I'll say, I don't know why I let you marry that N-word with the hard ER.
Yeah.
They are selfish.
That song, Throw Mama from the Train, or that movie just jumped into my mind.
My husband said that some are selfish, but not all. I walked toward, that'd be like saying, he walked into her. I don't know why you married that racist, and she'd be like, well, not all white people are racist. It's like you're making these generalizations here. But anyway, my husband said that some are selfish, but not all. I walked towards my husband and said I wanted a divorce. I went upstairs, packed most of my clothes, and left. Luckily, I bought me another property that I could stay at that my husband didn't know about. He called me later saying that what I heard had an explanation to it, and I hung up on him. I'm sure there's an explanation.
There's
doesn't mean it's going to be a good explanation.
Yeah, there's no good explanation for throwing out a hard ER ending ever.
Now I get calls from his side of the family saying that mother-in-law can justify why she said that, and I'm being sensitive and asking for a divorce over what his mother said is wrong. So AITA?
No. Well, they both suck. They both suck. Because for her to say she already has a property that he doesn't know about lets you know that there's issues to begin with. And why do you have a property your husband doesn't know about? Like, you are a team. You work together. Now, you and I have separate checking accounts. I'm good with that. If something happens to mine, yours is covered. If something happens to yours, I've got mine. Hacking, all that other kind of dumb stuff.
Is this a bad time to tell you about my separate property?
Shut up. You don't ever want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? But also at the same time, you can't, as a spouse, just be like, oh, well, you're making money, so I'm not going to work. That is a conversation that you have and you come to agreements on together.
But I don't work. I'm a YouTuber. It's not.
Shut up.
It's not. Sorry for the long post. Thank you for taking your time to read this. Edit. I'll be sure to update you guys later on in the week or after I meet with lawyers, but for now, I'll eat ice cream, cry, and watch my favorite anime.
I don't know many black women that watch anime. Why'd you make that face?
Neither do I.
Doesn't mean it
I
doesn't
guess
happen.
consolation. I don't know a lot of black women. So
okay, there's that. I think a lot of younger females in general watch anime now. It doesn't matter what ethnicity they are. But let me just put this out here right now. If you and I together, also black, white couple, just flipped from hers. She's black, female, white, male. You're black, male, white, female. If at any point in time, because this would never happen in life, anybody, my mother, were to ever hard N-word, you wouldn't have to worry about having to leave or whatever, because I'd walk out first. Like, that's not happening. I would distance myself from family over that. Like, that's not okay to talk about. One, to talk about your child's spouse in a negative way like that at all, let alone throw out the most racist thing humanly possible. But then for the spouse to be like, nah, she's okay. I mean, some of them aren't.
Look,
no.
No matter what, there's an explanation for everything.
There's always an explanation. Doesn't mean it's a good one or one that would fly with me. That's all I'm going to say.
Your mom got me one time. We came back and Max was running around the backyard. And he likes to dig holes.
Oh, I know exactly what you're about to do. Yes.
And she's like, go out. She never looked at me, and I looked at Max. He likes to dig holes. Edit number 2. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and my non-binary people. Thank you, everyone, for your advice and prayers, as well as blessings. I got emotional after reading the kind words you guys left for me. I appreciate it. I got a call this morning from my husband's father saying that he is very apologetic about what his ex-wife had said and will get me in contact with a lawyer today, and he will pay for all the costs for a lawyer. Mighty white of him. And that he will help me through this whole ordeal. Maybe he was eyeballing her at the
I was
wedding.
about to say, the next one's going to be like, so I divorced my husband, now I'm with his daddy.
Oh man, we got to go through that one. I will update you guys after the meeting. I got to drop that clip in here from the courtroom.
Yes, because
It has nothing to do with this, but
I mean,
it's
man,
jacked up.
Yes.
You have 7 wives. Mm-hmm. You're 48 years old. Mm-hmm. According to your answer, I needed a scorecard in my head. Let's see if I've got some of the facts right. You married 3 sets of sisters, correct?
Correct.
You married the 2 children of your 4th wife, so you were their stepfather. And your 2 youngest wives are your 2 stepdaughters from your 4th wife. Is that right?
Not exactly right.
Well, let me look at your answer, sir.
Right.
You say your 2 youngest wives are the children of your 4th wife, June.
That's correct.
But they're not my youngest wives.
And one of them he married before he married you.
You see, it wasn't that I married my stepdaughter, it was that I married my mother-in-law.
I see. So you were married to one of June's children first.
Yes.
And how old was that child when you
How old
married
was
her?
her daughter?
How old was the child when you married her?
Her daughter.
Yes.
Her daughter was 15.
And how old were you?
I was in my mid-30s.
Okay. And then after you married that child at age 15, then you married her mother.
I can see you
June.
I can see you like stigmatizing them by saying child.
Well, sir,
In
I've
our
had 5
state-
children. A 14, a 15-year-old. You married your 2nd wife, Linda, when she was 14. You married your 3rd wife, Shirley, when she was 15, according to your answer. You married your 5th wife, Leanne, when she was 14. You married your 6th wife, Carrie, when she was 15. And you married Hannah, wife number 7, when she was 14. Where's Hannah?
Right here.
That's you.
correct.
You're 19 now.
Yes.
You have 1 child.
Yes.
And where's Carrie?
Right here.
And you're 21 now, and you have 2 children.
I'm 20 and I have 2 children. Yes.
And Leanne,
Right here.
you're 22. You have 3 children. You were 14 when you got married. Is that right? Well, sir, you know that polygamy is against the law. Against the law in the country where you choose to live.
I don't think so.
Well, tell me why you don't think so.
I don't think there's a law in the U.S. Code against polygamy.
Well, it
there
is
is
against the law in every jurisdiction, in every individual jurisdiction in this country, sir.
It's against the law to have more than 1 marriage license and assume to have both of them valid, but it's not against the law to enter into a relationship with more than 1 person.
That's true. So then, that's true. We have a lot of people who have a lot of relationships, Mr. Green.
That's true.
But you, according to your answer, refer to these people as wife numbers 1 through 7.
Are we going to talk about my definition of my relationship or the laws? If you want to talk about the laws, I don't have a marriage license with any of these ladies. So, in essence, they're all mistresses. Am I the only man in America to have a mistress? Or more than 1?
All right.
Are there laws against that? You see,
So
in Utah,
that what you're saying, Mr. Green,
You know, Judge,
is,
in
just a
Utah-
second, what you're saying, Mr. Green, is that you're...
Anyway, we'll get to that later. Update, guys. I have an update. I will make a separate post about it because it's going to be a rant. So please have your popcorn and tea. The reason why I'm not updating now is because I'm moving all of my things out and planning to go on a vacation with my side of the family with my newfound richness. So bear with me, you guys. Thank you so much for your patience and blessings. But seriously, get your popcorn and tea, juice, whatever you do in your spare time. You guys aren't going to believe this.
Let me ask you a question. Anywhere in these does she plug her realty?
I don't know. I haven't. It's first time reading it.
Okay.
First time reading it. I didn't click the link to the other one.
I'll just go ahead and start off like this. I know plenty of people who get prenups, but to me, that if you some people are not going to agree with this, but if you feel the need for a prenup, you're already thinking divorce in your mind. That's how I look at it. If you're thinking about what could go wrong before you even walk down the aisle, don't walk down the aisle.
So it says here that I want to say thank you guys first and foremost for all the support that was given throughout this week. But please get your snacks and wine or whatever because I'm very petty and I'm probably TA for the things I did.
The ass.
Oh, okay. But do I care? No, because sometimes revenge is very sweet. Well, I knew she was petty from the start when I said that she was making the husband sign the prenup out of spite when she don't have nothing. Like, you want to waste money on this legal document to protect nothing? Okay.
Well, those legal documents also will state if I make more in the future. It's not just for what you have before you get married. It is a document saying if 10 years down the road, I've tripled my wealth from my business or my business has sold, my business has done this, then all of that is mine because I'm the one who started it. So that's what it's not just with what you have before you walk down the aisle. It can literally include whatever's for once you are married.
Possibly. But any input from the other half in the business then creates this gray area.
Yeah.
But so on Monday, I met with the lawyer, and first and foremost, I wanted to make sure my source of income was secure. And secondly, I was to make sure at the time that if I were to go through with the divorce, I was 100% protected. And I am, but me still trying to be a wife and still having love for him, even though he didn't do his job as a husband, I still wanted to work it out. Say it with me, guys. You're dumb. Well, I would say that if you want to be protected, you want to be protected before you need to be protected. So plan ahead. But as you say, if you're planning ahead, then you're planning to divorce.
Yeah.
But anyways, I meet with husband and his mother, and it goes smoothly at first, but it was still tension. So my husband says he is sorry, and he apologized like 1,000 times. So I'm like, okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no way I could be involved in any sort of real estate contract with someone who
writes the way, because I can see you struggling to read it.
There's no way. So his mother says, I'm sorry as well, and I nodded. Then she goes on to ask, can you still help me with the house and bills? I still told her no. She looked so confused and said, but I apologized. I said, just because you apologize doesn't mean I'm ready to accept it, and you're not going to bully me into thinking otherwise. She got so angry, her face turned red, and she said, and I quote, you self-centered bitch. Your kind is always self-centered, and I'm glad my son cheated on you. We are going to get the money from spousal support. Is mom telling the truth?
Who knows?
Or is mom manipulative?
Oh, mom's definitely manipulative.
I don't know if you guys saw that Fox show Empire when Cookie Lion was going to hop over the table. I almost did, you guys, because even though she's my grandmother's age, it would be like slapping my grandmother. And therapy works for some. So instead, I laughed. I looked at my ex-husband. He couldn't even look me in the eyes. So I knew it was true. After I finished laughing, I said to my dear husband that the divorce papers will be delivered to you by tonight. And you aren't getting shit from me because the prenup that you signed 5 years ago, yeah, you're fucked. Meaning he ain't getting shit. After that, I paid for my food and left. Where'd they meet? I didn't know they were at a restaurant. Did I say that?
I have no idea. I think you said something about lunch. I don't know. All I know is that they should just go ahead and get divorced, and son and mother should just have their own little thing.
So here's the last little piece here. Since then, I moved out of his house, and that house his mom wanted to redo or renovate. She got evicted because she wasn't paying her bills. She was waiting for a handout. So I'm buying that house. Ex-husband is staying with his brother, so his mother. So for all of this, I deserve a vacation. So as for revenge on my husband, because of course, divorce isn't enough for me, I wanted to make him regret everything by living his dream, which is moving to Malibu, living the rich life. But not only am I moving there, I also bought the house he has been looking at for years. And my kind will be staying there for Christmas. But other than that, I'm doing great. It's a huge weight that has been lifted from my shoulders. Thank you for reading and all the blessings that have been sent my way. I do appreciate it and all the support.
I don't think I would like her in life. She sounds very petty.
I mean, she is.
I mean, I can understand being mad that your husband's like, hey, I don't want to work anymore. And then the mother-in-law calling you a name and stuff. But the words revenge and petty and whatever else, that just lets me know you're not grown. You're still a child. You're overly emotional about stuff. And you're not moving on if you're doing all these things to show him and get back at him. And
Is this story real?
I don't think it's real. The more you would say, I'm like, she's making this up. Oh, get your popcorn and your.
I'm
your
too
tea.
busy to do anything. I'm going on vacation, but I'm not too busy to tell you to get
Yeah. And how much money did you make? I mean, you made enough to buy a house in Malibu and your mother-in-law's house and a third house.
She couldn't afford it, and you're gonna buy it. It doesn't necessarily work like that. Like, where you live, like you already have another house. You're buying that house. You're going to Malibu. Like, what house has he been looking at for years? That's on the market. Like, what?
Yeah.
There's a link here for the update where you're not going to believe this. And you click the link and it doesn't work. And Reddit says you can't do that. It says you can't. It literally says you're not allowed to do that. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
I'm wondering if the link was the gotcha. The link was the promotion for.
Well, that's what I was saying, for either her real estate or whatever her little Instagram or TikTok or something like that. I don't know.
But if it is real.
If it is real, it's still screwed up. I mean, people need to, you can be together for 5 years, but obviously if you don't know each other after 5 years, you're going to have issues. That's why most people getting married after knowing each other for a couple months doesn't work out very well, because you don't know all the stuff.
I think you should know early on if the other side is petty
Racist.
enough. Oh, yeah. Racist and petty. One side racist, the other side petty. Like,
It's never going to work out well.